Hello and welcome to the INFOMAR webinar. My name is Aileen Bohan and I'll be giving a quick update on the operational updates from 2021. It's going to be a quick update and quite brief, so feel free to reach out for more information. So just to give a quick overview, I'm going to begin with talking about the original operations plan. I'll then move on to the Marine Institute coverage updates before looking at the Geological Survey coverage updates. And of course, this is all going to include lots of lovely bathymetric images and scenic photographs. The GSI update is going to follow the timeline of the survey season. We're going to begin in Cork and move our way around the coast before returning to Dublin Bay for the winter. So to begin with the 2021 operations plan, as we know, INFOMAR is a partnership of the Marine Institute and the Geological Survey. In terms of mapping, the Marine Institute works outside the 30 nautical miles boundary. So around here, these yellow and orange blocks are the Marine Institute's areas, whereas the Geological Survey works within the 30 nautical miles boundary, so all these purple areas, and right up until 0 LAT. So you can see the green star, and these are all the vessels that make up our fleet this summer. The green stars show the various ports that we were working in. So in Cork, Baltimore, Castletown Bay, Dingle, and Rossaville. So we're going to begin with the Marine Institute updates, and this is data collected by the Explorer and the Celtic Voyager, all from beyond the 30 nautical mile boundary. They totaled 90 days of sea time and managed to achieve their target, acquiring over 6,100 kilometers squared of new data. It's quite exciting. You can see all the lovely blocks there, and also see hints of the glacial moraines and some of the exciting features that are coming out. These fields of sand waves, and they're also collecting chirp data and water column data as they're out there. And then to go on to the Geological Survey updates, but staying in the Celtic Sea, we'll go to Castletown Bay, you can see the lovely port there, and Baltimore, where so the Curie and the Mallet and the Kitchener and the Lear, we're working out here collecting data. And we're finally able to finish the block this summer, so that was quite exciting because it has been quite a difficult area for us to work in. And it's it can be a flat-borne seabed in places. Though there was lovely, exciting bits of lovely rocky parts, and also a few shipwrecks out there. Not all multi-beam mapping happening. We also did a bit of current profiling around Le Cerf-Volant in Inner Bantry Bay there. And you can see that's the multi-beam image of the Cerf-Volant. You can see the cannons on her deck. And this was using cherished DECC, so we mounted it on the Mallet. You can see it on its pole mount. We headed out early one morning and we began to collect data all through a high and low tide cycle. And all of this was done with the aim of better understanding some of the kind of current regimes and the strengths around the Cerf-Volant or that are acting upon it. Meanwhile, the smallwhales were busy in Kenmore Bay. This image shows the merged image of all the data collected both by the Marine Institute and all the areas where we've pushed in this summer by the Geological Survey. So you can see it makes quite an impressive bit of bathymetry. This colour scale is going from 0 LAT down to the purple is 30 meters LAT. Or greater than 30 meters LAT. So this contains lots of tricky areas, especially with all these fish farms, especially here in Hardegroom. And there's some beautiful geology out here, though, especially these paleo channels and kind of folded rocky outcrop out by Derrynan. Lots of jellyfish out there. Made it even as far as Kenmore Bridge. So we didn't go before the bridge, as far as beyond the bridge. So I guess we'll leave that for INFOMAR too. Another exciting highlight of this was Bull Rock. So down in the southwest of Ireland, the Lear began taking advantage of the conditions and mapped right through the Bull Rock, the tunnel you can see there. So they found it was about this channel here, which you can see in the Chimera window. It's about 14 meters deep, makes a lovely V shape. And it's going to make a very fun flight through animation, hopefully. Also be interesting to see how to depict the data on top of the land, which is a bit confusing. Well, the rib's busy in Kenmore Bay, the Curie went over to Dingle Bay. She's then joined by the Lear. This is, again, a merged map of the data from the Marine Institute and the Geological Survey. So it goes from 0 meters to greater than 50 meters. So we were based out of Dingle Bay, you can see here, and we were just tied up in the marina beside the fun fair. We're working away all around the Blasket Islands and Valentia. It's a really beautiful landscape. You can see all the Port McGee channels filled in, all up on the cliffs around along here. And it was really amazing to get to see all the islands up close. There's lots of puffins and seals and even deer on Inishvick Lawn. One of my favourite and most westerly point of Ireland is Inishtirach. You can see there the lighthouse. I think it stands at like 85 metres. And it was really great to see all the geology of Dingle up close. You can see the layers of all red sandstone and lots of desiccation cracks from when Ireland was a good bit drier. And there was also a remapping of the SS Manchester Merchant, and Therese produced this amazing looking image of the shipwreck using cloud compare. You can see the 3 boilers there, which is quite impressive. Finally, we also made a high resolution map of the skelligs. You can see all the structure there. And these are the preliminary results. So it's quite an exciting survey season. When we then, with Smurrick Harbour complete, we had aimed to move further to the northeast, but unfortunately Phoenix was full. So we leapfrogged Phoenix and went on up to Connemara to Rossaville, another beautiful part of the world. These maps show the areas that the boats were working in over the summer. So you can see as it was divided up by the boats. Obviously these were roughly divided up depending on weather and conditions, etc. As you can see, there's still a lot to do, so we'll be going back there next year. So lots of tricky little shore parts and lots of hydrographic notes were generated, of course. To zoom in on some of the interesting areas, especially around the scared rocks, you can see the features there. You can even pick out the Carboniferous limestone and go away granite contact, which is quite impressive. We didn't think we'd be able to see that in the multi-beam. Again, in Ishmore, you can see all the lovely limestone layers. And if you zoom in on Dún Angus, you can see the individual boulders. And particularly if you've ever paid attention or seen some of Rona Cox's research, see the excitement that we have in trying to monitor all these boulders by repeat surveys. Of course, not all mapping. We also carried out some exercises with the Irish Coast Guard. This is exercise with the Coast Guard near the Scared Rocks in the RV Keary. Here's the Captain August doing the high line and getting the Irish Coast Guard person on board. As well as, not quite, it was actually more of a cherished project, but so this isn't actually INFOMAR, this is cherished, but still on the RV Keary. So in September, we went around for 2 weeks to Wales to do a bit of mapping and sampling. So we spent 1 week in Pwllheli here, and then the next week in Carnarvon and Menai Bridge. So we started off in Pwllheli, we did a bit of mapping and sampling around Sarn Patrick. So this had been mapped in previous years, and we extended on the coverage in the southeast on this delta. And it was quite impressive. We resolved, you can see another boulder field completely resolved all these deltaic sediments. We also charted shipwreck. You can see that's just opened up, and that's pretty incredible to see. We're also collecting samples and around Bardsey Island and around Bear Grylls Island, the St. Tudwells. So then we moved up to the north and we did a bit of work around Rossniger, Dula, Puffin Island, and Dulles Island. This shows the bathymetry of Puffin Island, and you can see our sample sites there and marked in. These were chosen after analysing the bathymetric data. Altogether, we collected 66 samples, so it was quite a success. We also managed to get the Voyager for a few days in between legs to try and tackle some of our offshore areas to the west. Unfortunately, the weather didn't allow for this, so we went to the south. But still, we acquired a good bit of data in 56 hours of mapping at quite short notice. Myself and our grad student, Kieran, we went out for a few days. So it was quite successful. Finally, as October drew to a close, the boats started to come around to Dublin to be demobbed for the winter before the weather got too bad and the hours of daylight too short. And we carried out a few mapping ops from Dunleary. So we did a good bit pushing in around Ireland's Eye, and in around Baldwell Spit, and in around the cliffs of Hope. And then on the south coast, pushing in the southwest of Dublin Bay. Also got the Mallet working out here in the Irish Sea. It's got a good chunk of land done. And you can see our real map of Ireland's Eye is coming on well. So boats, we only demobbed them last week, and they completed their mapping and then some essential maintenance over winter, and that's us done. So thank you all for listening. Feel free to send on questions or comments. And this is just an image taken by Owen of Skellig Michael. You can see the mallet here in the background. So it's a very good image. Thank you.